the EP Podcast. Heard everywhere podcasts can be found, and always at theeppodcast.com.
Last week was all kinds of video from the EP podcast. This week we're back to normal audio on the feed, but you can still get video extras, extended interviews, and see much of what you're going to hear later on this week on our YouTube channel. The link is at theeppodcast.com. You can go to YouTube, search up the EP podcast, and then select us and watch anything on the channel. Anything we've done before, anything we do in the future. Just look for the EP podcast. It's actually a podcast and has that EP green symbol with the square around it, because YouTube is the Wild West, and you wouldn't believe how many people want to steal the name the EP podcast. It's weird. Frank Murray and I get a little loopy on Rosé at Spoken Vine later on this show. Well, maybe just one of us. And the Farmers Market turns 20. So much to talk about. This episode brought to you by the First National Bank of Evergreen Park. $300 bonus with qualifying activities when you open up their total access checking account. You get free ATMs nationwide, no overdraft fees, new mobile banking tools, award-winning customer service. Heck, speaking of mobile banking tools, as somebody who runs his business account there, they've upgraded those as well. No minimum monthly balance, no monthly maintenance fees. All these banks try to take your money from you. They do everything they can to make sure every cent stays with you. Stop in and see them today in that iconic building at 95th and Pulaski, the First National Bank of Evergreen Park, member FDIC. Sitting down here at the 9-foot homemade oak bar, making her second appearance in a month after not being here for years. Every time I saw her was at the farmer's market. Beth Novotny is here. We're going to talk about the farmer's market. 20 years, right, Beth?
Yeah, 20 years. It's hard to believe.
You're excited?
I am. We've got several new vendors this year. We've got a lot of returning vendors. So we're all getting psyched for the new farmer's market this year, starting next week, May 1st.
All right. And you brought Sarah Reisinger with you as well. What does Sarah do?
Sarah is a clerk in the Office of Citizen Services, so she typically helps with the day-to-day functions of the office, but she has taken the task on as helping with the farmer's market this year.
Right, and also helping Beth, because let's be honest, Sarah, she does not like this.
I think we're both in agreement with that.
She's like, I got to go on the what and talk into the microphone again? Wasn't I just there? I was surprised. I've just gotten back from a vacation. We were talking about it. Okay. So we did some fun stuff over the last week or so on the podcast because I was sitting on an island. So everything was all set up in advance. So this is my first day back sitting here in front of the microphone. And I was surprised that Beth was coming back so quickly. But it's because 20 years of the farmer's market is kind of a big deal. I already saw an article in the Patch about it. And do you guys have anything special planned? Is it just bigger and better as it is every year? Or what are we looking at?
This year we've got, come summer when the kids are all out of school, we've got a lot of things planned. Last year we added a lot of kids activities. We painted rocks one day and we had bike decorating. Then we got a box of sidewalk chalk. Who thought that sidewalk chalk could be so entertaining? But we roped off a 10 by 10 square and the kids would just sit and color for hours. So it was a fun thing. And then this year we're looking at some other things, maybe getting some yoga classes in at the farmer's market every now and then. The library's coming out with their bookmobile and all that kind of stuff. And then we've just booked, iCash will be out a couple of times, and the Water Commission will be out. We work with the Chamber of Commerce to have local businesses come out for the community tent. The village mayor and clerk and sometimes the trustees will come out to do a meet and greet.
I might come out this year. I might show up. We might do a tent. Maybe I'll do a show there. Just do the whole show.
That would be fun.
At the farmer's market. You'll come on, of course, right?
Yeah.
It kicks off. The reason you're on is because it's kicking off here very soon, May 1st. I can't believe that April is ending this week and May is upon us. So it is here this week on Thursday, and it's going to be running every Thursday from 8 a.m. through 1 p.m. all the way until the end of October at Yukich Field at 89th and Kedzie. And what I always find interesting is people get this picture in their head of, okay, farmer's market's back. It's time for me to go and get some produce. But the produce isn't there until they they get the produce in, and that's normally like summertime. Like it's flowers in the spring, produce in the summer, pretty much everything in the fall, right? They still have the produce. That I always feel like the fall is when that's like its busiest time because you got pumpkins and, you got the mums, so you got flowers, still have produce that's in there and stuff like that. Plus all your food carts are out there, it feels like.
Right. So several years ago, we divided the market into 3 seasons, as you just kind of said, the spring, the summer, and the fall. Because people do come out the first, second week of May, and they're like, where are the tomatoes? Well, they're local tomatoes, so do you have tomatoes in your backyard? Well, no. So we kind of divided it to spring, summer, and fall. So the spring, we're focusing on the annuals, the perennials, the garden plants, and to get your gardens ready. And then we go into, mid-June, the produce starts coming in. We still have all of our regular food vendors. We'll have Smiling Clyde back in June with their hot dogs. El Coyote will be there the first week of the market with their tamales.
They do so well there. The tamales are good.
They do.
I go over and get a tamale all the time there. Like Thursdays is like, that's a lunch option for me, is just to go to the farmer's market and stop at the food truck.
And we do. They always have a line at lunchtime. The fire department comes over and grabs their tamales and so forth. And then we move into fall with the mums and the pumpkins and the hay bales and that kind of stuff. So we kind of divided it up into 3 seasons to kind of let people know what's coming in. So they're not coming in May and expecting the tomatoes or the cucumbers and things like that.
So I noticed that you have a list, a lot of people coming back, but you got some new people that are showing up this year. I'm sure you're always trying to get new people in. A conversation I had with somebody recently is that now you get these festivals and these small markets and things like that. People will take their little mobile business and go to something new almost every single day. They may not have a storefront, but this is how they run their businesses, how they earn their living. And so some of the newer ones, one of them that stuck out to me, Simply Sourdough, gets here in June. Do you know a lot about them? Because right now I'm on a sourdough bread kick. It's like, it doesn't have all the extra preservatives. Like I'm trying to be very health conscious in the food that I'm eating. Sourdough is like the best bread to have if you don't want to have a lot of additives and things like that in your bread. Is this where I'm going to be getting my bread this summer?
We do have a sourdough bread company coming in June. I don't know that much about her. She contacted us. We were in need of a artisan bread person, so we were able to work things out, and she will be in June. I have seen her. She's got a small local business, and I have seen posts on Facebook that she sells bread locally in the community. So hopefully her clientele will come to our markets and shop from other vendors as well.
Yeah. Either one of you have a pet? Sarah, you have a pet?
I do.
You have a dog? What, a dog?
A dog.
Okay. You're a dog person. Cool. So I have a dog, and I see this other one that's going to be here. It looks like they're like, special pet treats. I'm bringing this back up again real quick here, but I was just looking through it. Bosco All Natural Pet Treats is going to be another new vendor. And I'm sure that you, Sarah, are like, my dog is like my best friend. My dog is not a Cadillac dog. My dog is a Yugo dog. That's what I tell my kids all the time. This is not a Ferrari, okay? This is a Honda. We just buy the stuff at the Costco is what I do. But I mean, are you the kind of dog owner that would sit there and say, I'm going to try out something new for the dog?
So I feel like my daughter falls into that category. She would be the one. She's made homemade treats for our dog. She it's her best friend. So I feel like she'll definitely come with me to the farmer's market, and we'll be frequenting that vendor and trying out some of the new treats. And I think it'll be a great addition.
You're like, yeah, really? I mean, do we need to? It's a dog.
We'll see.
If I have leftovers on my plate and I put it in his bowl, he's happy. What does he need this for?
Yes. But we love our dog, and she's a very wonderful part of our family. So my daughter will be spearheading that, like going to the farmer's market for that. She would love to try out the new treats. So.
Speaking of dogs, though, you guys, if it's a service animal, they can come, but you don't want a bunch of people walking their dogs to the farmer's market, right?
Yeah, for the history of the market, our market has not been a dog-friendly market. Just for the fact of trying to keep it sanitary. Yeah. And
dogs poop.
Some dog owners are great. Some dog owners, they tend to let their dogs roam a little bit. So it's just for the sake of everybody at the market. We just ask that you don't bring your dogs or other animals unless they're service dogs.
Okay, very cool. So if people have questions, is there any chance if somebody is like, they're an aspiring small business owner, they want to be a part of it. They know they can't be there to start the year, but maybe they want to get in there later on in the year. Is everything locked in, Or are you always looking for new vendors?
We're always looking for new vendors. We're always looking for something kind of different and unique. I do get a lot of people that want to do baked goods. So if we can work out something where they sell something different than the vendors we already have, we try to welcome on board. Most of the vendors that do sell food do need a sanitation license and a commercial kitchen or a cottage certificate, just so that there's some background and guidelines set up as far as where they're cooking and how they're
You can't just make
foods.
a big giant pot of chili and say, I'm going to make a little money today. And
Exactly,
show up. Right.
exactly. So there are some guidelines set in place for people that do make and sell food at farmers markets.
I'm always waiting for the produce. That's my thing. Like once the produce shows up, I start showing up. Like, I don't know. I'm becoming a produce snob now. Like I like to go and I get it directly from the farm. Because it feels like I'll find a grocery store. I'll use it. Like I was going to Mariano's for a while. And then all of a sudden I was like, now every time I go there, the lettuce looks terrible. So then I start going to the Jewel. And now every time I go there, I can't find any cilantro. And it just feels like if I go to the farmer's market, I got farmers there. They just put it on a truck. Things are going to be pretty fresh. Are you, either one of you, like, do you do the produce at the market? Do you find yourself using the market more during the months that it's around?
I spend lots of money at the market every week.
Beth gets paid by the village and turns that right around and gives it to the farmer's market.
Yeah. So, yes, between the produce, Dotson's Farms always has a wide variety of produce once that comes out. So, you try to buy the cucumbers or the zucchini or the potatoes or something like that and try to eat a little healthier with the fresh fruit. And then you've got Gwen who does the candles.
You're a sucker for the candles is what it is.
I'm a candle person. So,
wow.
I'm always down sniffing her candles or her soap or whatever, and I always tend to have to buy something. And then you got Jerry's jerky, Jerry's jerky, the beef jerky. He was new last year. His jerky is just fantastic. I mean, it's like I buy a bag every week, and sometimes I eat it myself, and sometimes I'll share it with people.
I love that. Now that's cool to learn that you are there and you cannot help yourself because you're sitting there and you're looking at all the different vendors. You want to try out everything. That's amazing. If you want to go to the farmer's market this year, again, it kicks off on May 1st. That's this Thursday, 8 a.m. until 1 p.m., May through October, 20 years in Evergreen Park. Sounds like it's going to be the biggest it's ever been. If you have any questions, if you're one of those people that's considering being a vendor or you want to reach out and you want to know a little bit more about it, Office of Citizen Services at 708-422-8776. Before I let you go, adult prom is another thing that the Office of Citizen Services has got coming up here. Yeah. And I believe it's on May the 8th.
We're partnering with Kelly Duffy and the Village to put on a senior prom for adults 55 and older. It looks like it's going to be a great night. It's May 8th, which is a Thursday. It's 5 to 8. They're going to have heavy appetizers, some drinks, champagne toast, a DJ, a photo booth. It's going to be a fun night, so we're hoping that you guys...
It's like a Hollywood themed thing. She's been on the show now a couple times to pump it. Like, that's how I know this is important, because this prom has been talked about more on the EP podcast than I think most things have. Like, they're excited about the prom. Please, for the love of God, get to the prom if you're 55 and older. It's going to be amazing.
It'll be fun. Bring a date, come alone, however you want to do it. The golden age of Hollywood is May 8th, adult senior prom.
I mean, that's a boss move, 55 and over, going to the prom stag, looking for the next one. $15 for residents, $20 for non-residents. Again, the Office of Citizen Services at 708-422-8776. Beth, Sarah, thanks so much. Sarah, you didn't talk very much, but you did a wonderful job just sitting next to Beth so she could get through the interview.
Thank you. That's what I'm here for, the moral support.
Building relationships, supporting the community, and service. These are the things that Country Financial stands for. They're more than just an office you may pass by as you drive through Evergreen Park. They're neighbors who lend a helping hand and support the fabric of your community, including charitable organizations, sports, financial education, and civic organizations. And since Country is already your neighbor, they want to get together and chat. Call your local Country Financial representative, Mike Thauer, today at 708-425-1559 to talk about the things that are important to you and how he can help you protect them. It is now time for your EP podcast, Word on the Street. There's so much we're already talking about in this episode, so I'm just going to add one thing before we get out to Spoken Vine, who's the proud sponsor of the Word on the Street and also helps us out each and every month as we sit down with Frank Murray from the Evergreen Park Public Library to talk about what's going on there and eat a bunch of food and drink some wine and have a good time. If you haven't heard about it, there is a Baby and Me play group being put on right now by the rec department here in Evergreen Park. Caregivers with children up to 18 months, open forum discussions, advice, support. Each week there's a chosen topic, music and story time provided for the babies while giving them plenty of floor time to play and develop with stimulating toys, interacting with each other. It kicks off the day this episode comes out, Tuesday, April 29th, and goes through June the 3rd, 5:30 to 6:15 p.m. Also on Saturdays starting May the 3rd through June 14th, 10 to 10:45 a.m. It's $90. It's at the Maple Well Center, 3450 West Maple. Bring a blanket for tummy time. Any questions, 708-229-3373. Let's drink some wine and eat some food at Spoken Vine with Frank Murray and the EP Library. The EP podcast at Spoken Vine as we get ready for May, and there's a lot of great stuff to talk about at the Evergreen Park Public Library with Frank Murray, who's sitting here with
Chris.
me. How are you, buddy?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm excited. First of all, I'm refreshed. I'm back from vacation.
Back from vacation.
Yes. Last week,
That'll do it.
there were a lot of video podcasts that came out, and everybody must have been like, wow, look at all the work he's doing. I did that to hide the fact that I wasn't in town.
Yeah, you were on vacation.
I was gone for 10 days.
And we all know how you work.
Yeah, everything
He's
was
also the guy
pre-scheduled.
who cheats at summer reading. So I know you. I know you.
And we're going to also talk about what they have at Spoken Vine this month, northeast corner of 95th and Kedzie. Just an incredible place with great small plates. All kinds of wines are constantly changing it. They've got some specials for May, some things they want to talk about. A brand new, I think this is a new food item. Let's bring Reed in with it right now, because I like having some wine and food to eat while I listen to Frank. And he gets to watch me. How are you, Reed?
I'm doing good. How are you today?
Good. You know what? I'm refreshed. I'm happy. I'm a little tan. You know, I turned the hat around
I don't
because I'm
see
feeling
much
like a
tan.
bad boy. Stop
There's not
it.
much tan.
There's a little bit of tan.
No.
I feel tan.
Okay, well, if you
Whatever.
feel tan, that's good, as long
Whatever.
as you feel it.
Whatever. What do we have here in front of us?
All
Reed?
right, so we have a new food item for this month. It's our brie and balsamic flatbread. So we use our ital crust, and then we use a caramelized onion balsamic jam as the base. A little bit of mozzarella and Parmesan, a bunch of brie on the top. We bake that guy off, and then we put a nice balsamic glaze on the top.
Are the
My mouth is
flatbreads
watering.
the most fun things to come up with? I know that you don't come up with them. I know your lovely wife does. But have you heard news about, does she enjoy this? Because to me, you can get creative. You got dough, and then you just got some ingredients, and you just kind of figure out what you're going to pair it with. You probably go, we're doing this kind of wine. She goes, we're going to do this kind of flatbread.
Well, yes, she mostly says we're going to do this kind of flatbread. I'm allowed to have food suggestions, but yeah, no.
I get ideas.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're ever heard.
I can present the idea, and then it gets refined into the works of art that you guys get to enjoy.
Exactly.
I stick to my lane, and I try a lot of wine. So, but yeah, it's great. She's always coming up with new stuff, and I've had to be sworn to secrecy. I can't give out the new food items in advance anymore.
Yeah, well, I would imagine, there's secrecy, and there's probably like a contract, and there's probably, there's some clauses. What are we drinking here?
Well, so it is May, so now we are moving into Rosé season. We're going to be doing Rosé events all month this month. I'll tell you about those in a minute. The wine we're having today is the Figueria Mediterranean. It's a Rosé from Provence, which is in the very southern part of France. There are vineyards right on the shoreline. It's Grenache, Saint-Sault, Moldova, and a little bit of Cabernet. So most people have it in their mind that all Rosés need to be like super, super sweet, where most of them are actually rather neutral, or you get into some full-bodied ones that we'll be doing in one of our events. But yeah, it's a great food wine. It's rosé, works for everybody, especially for red wine drinkers that want something a little different for the summer.
Yeah, I don't particularly enjoy whites the same way that I enjoy reds. You've seen my wine selections because I come in here a lot. I like the drier stuff. I like some fruity notes. I like the Northern Italian, the Shiraz from time to time. I would never look at a menu and say, I'm getting a rosé, but I just tried this, and you're right. It's not overly fruity. It kind of sits right in the middle.
Yeah, so they're not all rosés are the same. It's just like any other wines. So like with the events we're doing, like one of our events, we actually have 2 wine lineups that we're going to do. One's going to be all the Provence, lighter, a little bit sweeter, a little bit crisper. The other one's actually going to be all like the other grapes. So it's like a Sangiovese rosé and a Merlot rosé, and all of those kind of grapes. And those will actually drink more like a thinner red wine as opposed to like a heavier white wine.
Yeah, this is perfect for this season now. We're gonna get into late spring, early summer. As we're sitting here recording, I think it's going to be 80 degrees outside. The weather is changing. I'm tan, no matter what the two of you say, and this is available at Spoken Vine.
Yeah, enjoy. We
right.
brought you a flatbread to eat while Frank talks.
I'm going to eat it while Frank talks.
Awesome.
I love that. That's
Have fun,
awesome.
guys. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Reed.
Hey, buddy.
Hey.
All right, so I give you a chance to eat this, but you got stuff to talk about with the Evergreen
got a
Park
lot of
Public
stuff.
Library. Don't drink yet.
I gotta take a sip.
You have to get all the information out to the people.
When Reed describes something, you have to
All right.
follow up with it.
Go ahead.
It's just like, okay, I got to do it now.
Go ahead. No, you can't eat though until you've given me at
it's
least
delicious.
3 items. Give
That
me
is
3
a
items.
perfect late spring, early summer rosé. I am not a rosé fan, but that is
It is
delicious.
good. I don't know
That
if you
is
noticed,
delicious.
but they didn't make the mistake of leaving the open bottle out here for me.
Oh,
They've been
boy.
watching the videos.
Yeah, they've been watching them.
watching
yeah.
the videos.
They want to know why their inventory goes down. That's why.
All right. What do we got? What's
Well,
big? What's the big thing in May?
Talking about rosé, our summer reading theme this year is Color Our World. Rosé, color our world. We are going to be having our big summer reading kickoff party on Saturday, May 31st from 1 to 3 p.m. to get us all pumped up and ready for summer reading, which is going to take place from June 1st to July 31st. The afternoon on Saturday, May 31st is going to feature all sorts of fun. We have a petting zoo. We're going to have a foam party, tons of arts and crafts, and of course, Culver's is also donating some delicious custard as well for the event. So,
Summer reading is when kids, adults win prizes for telling you they read something when there's actually no proof they actually did it. They just write it down on a piece of paper.
well,
Am I summarizing this properly?
I will kind of jump in there and correct you slightly.
Well, what checks and balances do you have?
They are going to be reading and then get rewarded for that reading. They can log their hours on, and we can talk about this at the next one. We can go over kind of all the rules, but they'll log their hours. They can either do it on paper or they can log it via the Beanstack app,
Okay,
which is really easy, user-friendly.
but they're still just telling you what they read.
Oh, well, then, of course, we quiz them every, and if they get worse than
they have to give a
100%, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, quizzes.
You're making that up.
Quizzes, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
you're
for
making that
you, I'm going to make a 3-page report, front and back, double-sided. No double spacing, though. Single spacing for you.
By the way, I just tried this flatbread. I had a couple of pieces. You'll see that on YouTube video because remember, all these interviews will end up on the YouTube channel within the week. And definitely check it out and what it looks like, and then get into Spoken Vine and try it. Really good, nice mixture of flavors. There's a sweetness to it, and the cheese is perfect too that they selected. It's an excellent addition and definitely something I'm going to try when I go.
Let me take this little corner.
Why would you grab the corner?
Because I got to talk
get
while you
big
eat.
piece. Get in there. Give it a try. It's sweet. There's a sweetness to it, right? There's a sweetness to that dish. The balsamic is not overpowering. It's just a good drizzle. You know,
Onions
the
in
caramelized
there.
onions.
Caramelized
I'm not an
onions,
onion
delicious.
eater. I've talked about this. I'm not an onion
my
eater
God.
unless it really fits the dish.
I got to go back.
And I can go back and I can get this 100 times.
I'm
man.
sorry, library programs. You're going to have to be put on hold.
He's just chowing down now at this point. He's got a little balsamic on his lip. He's ready to go.
Yeah. All right, Bridget, we got to make a reservation.
No need to get a reservation, although sometimes it makes sense on the weekends here at Spoken Vine.
Described this perfectly. The caramelized onion really stands out to me with the balsamic. It's a perfect combo. The cheese, everything. Just a delicious.
This is, you can tell they spend time. They don't just throw ingredients together.
That's so
That's
good.
great. That is spectacular.
good.
All right, on to the next thing. That's all you get to eat till we're done. Go.
All right, so we just talked about our summer reading kickoff party. We also have a summer reading bookmark design contest going on. Entries are due by May 12th. That's Monday, May 12th. You're going to take our summer reading theme, Color Our World, and use that to create a bookmark. We have the official entries are in paper at the library. You can also download it online from our website. And the rules and guidelines are also found on the website and on that paper. But get those entries in by Monday, May 12th, and your design will be turned into an official summer reading bookmark that will be available for other people to take.
So is it one person gets selected and then that becomes the design for all the bookmarks, or how does this
All
work?
the entries.
All the
turned
entries
in.
will get,
Yep.
and then there'll just be a variety.
There'll be a
of
variety of them available for people to
If I
take out.
color a bookmark, and when I say if
Yes.
I make one of my children color a bookmark,
So we'll enter it under your child's name
Okay.
because they are the artist, and
and then I
not
take
you.
credit for it,
No.
will
No.
we get a free bookmark back?
Poor
that's
Nick.
all laminated?
Nick is probably the most creative kid, and you are just taking all the credit for
He's
him.
the easiest kid in the world.
And then in other May fun, we have a wonderful program geared towards Star Wars. We all know May the 4th be with you.
Oh yeah,
That's
you watching
going-
Andor yet? You watching some Andor?
I have not, no, but
I
I've
watched
seen
the
some.
Andor.
Yeah, I've seen
Andor's
some stuff.
it's a little more adult than other Star Wars, I would say.
Okay.
It was kind of an intense scene.
Kinda like The
last one I watched.
Mandalorian?
Mandalorian's a little adult. This one's a little.
is a little bit more adult?
Like this one,
Uh-huh.
yeah. I don't know if I'd let little kids watch Andor. Okay.
Okay.
But it's a solid show. You should definitely watch it. And I'm a Star Wars geek. So what's going on for May the 4th?
See, we're going to be doing all sorts of fun stuff, from arts and crafts, I should say intergalactic crafts, some Star Wars bingo. You're going to even create your own Jedi lightsaber. That's going to be going all on Sunday, May 4th at 2 p.m. It's for grades 6 and under. Come on in, enjoy the fun, and may the 4th be with you. We also have some Minute to Win It games. We're going to have a Minute to Win It game night on Wednesday, May 14th at 6:30 p.m. That's for grades K through 5. And then we have our ever popular Bingo Lotteria. That's Tuesday, May 20th at 6:30 p.m. You get to play the traditional Mexican bingo game in both Spanish and English. And
What's
you
the
get to try
difference-
your
hold on a
luck
second. What's the difference
at
between-
winning prizes.
I'm sorry. What is different about Mexican bingo?
So they do it. It's just a different twist of it's bingo, but there's different like bingo like Matt. There's like it's more of a picture game where you're
Okay.
matching up, and it's kind of like some funny things.
I was
to
just
it.
worried that you were
Yeah.
yelling out,
Yeah.
be safe.
Be
like
safe.
that would. That'd
Well,
be
there
kinda
might
silly.
be, but yes, but there's it's a fun twist to it.
Okay, there's
Yeah.
something else to it. Okay,
Like, I
you have
remember-
to explain it.
Yes.
you can't just say we're doing Mexican bingo and not explain
Well,
what that
thank you.
is.
That's
Okay.
your job as
All
the
right,
podcaster,
all right.
right? So that's Tuesday, May 20th at 6:30 p.m. It's for children and their families. And moving on to our teens, we got a fun May plan for them. Our Teen Lunch and Learn series continues. That's on Saturday, May 17th at noon. We're going to be talking about pathways to engineering. So any teenager, high schooler interested in becoming an engineer or wants to learn more, Moraine Valley Community College will be there talking about what you need to do to become an engineer, and we'll also provide some lunch for you.
By the way, I'm an adjunct now at Moraine.
That is right. We talked about this. Yeah,
I'm an
how is that
adjunct.
going?
I'm at the end of this week. I'm
Yeah.
supposed to go in for all my stuff with HR, and I start teaching this summer. The course is called Podcasting for a Living at Moraine Valley. Learn how to podcast
Nice.
and how to make money doing it.
And how to make money doing
Yeah,
it.
I mean, I've been doing this now for 8 years. I guess I'm an expert.
Yeah, you would be.
Or I've
yeah.
convinced them I'm an expert, so they'll pay me.
Yes.
More like that. I got to learn who the
Awesome.
mascot is at Moraine. I
Oh,
got to
yeah.
get me a hat and everything now. I'm
Yeah.
an adjunct, you know?
The MVCC.
Yeah. I need a pipe. I want a professor's
You
jacket.
got a tweed jacket.
Yeah, I need one of
Yeah,
those too.
tweed
Yeah,
jacket
I'm
and a
working
pipe,
on it.
yeah.
I'll work on it.
You'll get there.
Yeah, I got until mid-June.
This is your first semester. You got time.
Yeah.
Build it
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are
I'll
you going to
build
go in with the backwards hat?
Oh, yeah. Backwards hat all the way. I got to look like the hip teacher. Hey there, fellow young people.
I'm tan. Fellow young people. Oh, man. All right, back to the teens at the library here. We have 2 author events coming up. One of them's virtual. The virtual author visit is going to be with Ryan Estrada. That's Monday, May 5th at 6:30 p.m. You can come. We'll have it at our teen room. You can meet the artist online via Zoom. He's an award-winning author of the book Banned Book Club. It's a true story of participating in an underground illegal reading club in Korea during the 1980s. And then we have in person coming back to the library, Rebecca Garner. She's going to be here at the library on Thursday, May 15th at 6:30 p.m. She's going to be talking about her new book, Dear Boyfriend and Other High School Dilemmas. And we're very excited to have her back. She's actually a former D124 teacher, too.
She's a former guest of the EP podcast
Yes,
as well.
yes,
And she
you're
writes very
familiar.
good books, and she's a great interview, so I'm sure she's going to do a good job.
Oh, she's
on that one. Yeah.
she's great. We're excited to have her back again. And we moving on to our adults. The big one, since we're here at Spoken Vine, our pop-up book club.
Okay,
is
where
going to
you get
be
this
at
flatbread.
Spoken Vine, where you're going to get some flatbread.
Promise
We
I'll leave you
actually
a piece.
are going to be providing some light refreshments and food. So I'm going to make sure Jenna, who runs that book club, I'm going to tell her about the flatbread.
Oh,
so we
this will
get
be
some
available.
flatbread. Well, she has her own thing that she purchases every time to provide food for the group. I am going to highly recommend the new flatbread here. So that's
Are the
on the
refreshments
table.
wine? Are you guys?
No, we can't. But you can obviously purchase your own glass.
I wanted to clarify that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, purchase your
You
own.
don't want people showing up thinking they're getting free
The
wine.
library does not have the budget to supply your wine, but you are more than welcome to support
Says the guy
Spoken
who
Vine.
does a podcast every month where he drinks free wine. I just wanted to point that out to everybody. Excellent visual for everybody.
Excellent visual. Yeah. That's great. So join us on Thursday, May 8th at 6:30 p.m. right here at Spoken Vine to discuss Jodi Picoult's By Any Other Name.
What day is it on?
Tuesday, May 8th.
May 8th?
Yeah.
May 8th is not a Tuesday, it's a Thursday.
Dude, I'm reading it wrong. Thursday.
My birthday's
Thursday,
the 9th
May
and it's
8th.
on a
there
Friday.
you go.
Yeah, okay.
The
I
day
won't be able
before
to
your
make, I
birthday.
can't make book club.
Well, now we're going to have a large crowd.
Now you got another
Now
event
we got
that
a
night.
large crowd.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. So I
All
can't
right,
make.
good.
I'll make the next book club. I promise.
One of our big events that we have going on for our adults that are looking for a fun, entertaining presentation, we have Love Beyond the Law on Thursday, May 22nd at 6:30 p.m. We have historian Michelle Gibbons will be transporting us back in time to when Bonnie met Clyde. She's going to focus on the remarkable story of Bonnie Parker and how they became Bonnie and Clyde.
Interesting.
Yes.
You want to see a good movie on that? The Highwaymen.
The Highwaymen.
It's a great movie on Bonnie and Clyde. I love that one.
Michelle is awesome. Her dad actually was an educator and historian, and she took over for him. He's retired, and she's picked up his briefcase, so to say, because he always carried around a briefcase.
It is an interesting time back then, if you think about it, because these people were absolute vicious criminals, and people were so amazed by the stories in the press that they almost became like heroes.
Right.
When if you ran into them,
Romanticized,
after you read the story and thought they were cool, they'd shoot you in the head. So I mean, it is maybe one of the craziest times in our culture that like people like just thought that these people were so interesting, and they were just cold-blooded murderers that were running around the country, you know, with Tommy guns. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Just wanted to put it in
story.
perspective.
Yeah,
just wanted
that
to
was
put
a
it in
great
perspective.
perspective.
Yeah, just want to put it in perspective.
And Michelle will add to that perspective
I'm sure she will.
on Thursday, May 22nd.
Just throw my 2 cents in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's another one you can circle on
I'm
your
about to
calendar.
start with another rosé, so that's like I'm getting to the point where I just start becoming a historian now.
There you go.
Yeah, I know some stories.
I know this.
I know some stories. I've seen some movies. I've read some books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Besides podcasting, you're an expert on a lot of things.
A lot of things. That's why I'm an adjunct, Frank, at Moraine Valley. The rest of that's yours.
Yes.
We're
I
splitting.
had
the
to go
rest of it.
really fast.
Thank you very much for joining me again for another month.
Thank you, Spoken
There's
Vine.
lots of cool stuff going on at the library. Frank is going to, I guess, start drinking his drink. I'm going to try to get another one. Spoken Vine, Northeast Corner, 95th and Kedzie. The library, evergreenparklibrary.org to see all the events. Color your bookmarks. See, I was paying attention. There's book club coming up on May the 8th.
gosh.
That's a Thursday, not a Tuesday.
That's right.
And this flatbread is incredible. Try it out.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.
It's the EP Podcast. All things Evergreen Park. It's the EP Podcast. Evergreen Park.